Hey guys, this is Jimmy from jimmysdiy.com. Today's video is about how you can change from a regular bulb assembly or a dome light to LED light fixture in your house. I am in my basement today. We have been renovating my basement, which is the reason why I haven't been posting any videos. I bought this house about 4 years ago, and I'm not sure since when. This house had a mold issue in the basement, so and it was obviously paneling in the basement, so I wanted to get rid of those. So when I took off the paneling, there was a mold on the walls, and it was really bad this summer. So we had to basically clean up the mold. We had to re-parge the walls. So we parged the walls, we put the waterproofing paint on it, and then after that we put the dry walls back up, and we did some little bit of framing in here, like took out some closets, flattened it out and all that. So let's get started. I wanted to show you what lights I'm talking about here. And I apologize for the mess because I haven't been finished yet with the basement. So all the stuff is right here. And you can see here, this is the dome assembly here. Lighting is not great in the basement at this point because I've been doing stuff here. So you can see here the dome, it's with the two bulbs in there. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to install LED light fixture. So let's get started. So this is the light fixture that I picked up from Amazon, and it's like very thin. It's 0.5 inch thick. So the only reason why I'm not using recessed lighting here is because the recessed lighting doesn't produce too much light. So I did have a lighting issue. That's why I had to measure this. Basically, LED is equivalent to 2 or 3 bulbs, roughly 2300 lumens. So I am going to take this one off right here, what you see currently mounted, and we're going to assemble this one up. So first thing first you want to do is you want to basically cut off the power to the light, and you got to run down to your breaker box, turn off the fuse for this light. I am going to do that right now. Right, this one is off. I do have this light on a different breaker. That's why I took it off. I'm going to take out the light here. So what I simply did is I untied the black and white wire from the existing black and white wire that I have in the ceiling. Now you can see here I have 2 white wires here, 2 black wires. These are what you need basically to get the light up and running. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same connections that I had, and I'm going to wrap up the new light with these wires. But before that, I have to take this bracket off that is usually used to mount the traditional lights. The new LED that I got, I do not need the this little metal thing. Use a Phillips head screwdriver or a flathead. I'm going to use my impact drill, and I'm just going to move slowly here because I don't want to ruin the threads in the and this is my ground wire here. So the bare copper is the ground wire, the white is obviously neutral, black wire is the hot wire. So we're just going to follow the same pattern where we're just going to connect black with black and white with white and a ground wire. First thing what we're going to do is we're going to mount the new lights bracket. I do have a bigger bracket here, which you can see here. And then the green wire is the ground wire, so I'm just going to use this green wire. You want to pull your wires to see if they're tug. I pulled it. What I also like to do is I also tape these wires with electrical tape. You can get creative here with the cutting and all that, but I like to just pull it off. The reason why I do this is just in case the wire moves, they don't come out. So I'll put a little tape here, and now we're just gonna keep these here, pushing the ground wire in. Going to mount these. Alright, let me get the screws for this. I could use the older screws here, but why not use the new one I got with them? So, alright, so you want to make sure your bracket is tight on the ceiling. Basically, you want to tighten these screws up, the one that you use to mount the bracket. I did. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to screw 2 screws here in the drywall. You might need to use an anchors. Mine is like fairly old ceiling. It's like stucco material, so it's fairly rigid. It's not gonna go free, so I'm just gonna put 2 screws on the side. This will also help you, so when you mount your light, it does not sag from the sides here. Alright, so my bracket is up. I'm going to move this green wire or the ground wire inside. And now we got 2 wires to work here, so I'm just going to use these. I'm going to take my hot wire here, which is a black, and I'm going to connect with the black here. Alright, so the black wire is done. I pulled it, it's good. I am also going to put my white wire. And I want to pull it again to see if it's snug. And I'm going to tape these.
Mommy, why have you seen the light over here now then?
Alright, so I'm just gonna run a tape around these wire nuts. Alright, so the hot wire I wrapped the tape around. I'm going to do the same thing for the white wire here. Alright. Before I put this all in, I'm going to go test if this is working. So just give me a second. I'm going to test with the breaker. All right, it works. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put these wires in the ceiling gang box. All right, this is the hardest part, obviously, taking care of the wires to push them back in. Now, I'm just gonna use these tabs that what they provided to hook up the light with the bracket.
You can take those. Bobby, you can take those.
I have these plastic clips that gets mounted with these, and they are so hard to. Okay, one side is done. Alright, so the ceiling light is mounted. This light is sitting flush with the ceiling, so now it's time to test. And I have to leave the tripod here. The light is on and it's functional. So you can see how I mounted the ceiling light while I was videoing the work. It took me about 15 minutes maximum with going back and forth with the camera, along with swapping the battery out and picking up the tool, doing everything by myself. There was a little bit of fiddle with the wires, but that's about it.